Hello, hello. I usually let
Hello.
some you go. See you. I don't wear my glasses because of the glare. Hey, Michelle. Michelle's the only one here so
Oh,
far,
yes.
and then people will be joining us. But are you excited? It's been a while since we've been on camera together. Were you surprised that I asked you to come on with me?
Very, very.
Why? We we
Because you become the queen of internet, and I'm just
No, there's Daniela. Hi, Daniela. I am not. Tell my husband I'm not the queen of the internet. I'm going to scooch for a second because I got to get my fan. I usually do my whole setup, and I forgot to do my hot menopausal fan. You put that on me. Oh, so nice. With the new setup, I'm getting used to everything. So for everybody, wow, a couple people just joined in. So I want to say hi to everybody really quick before we get in. Everybody here knows this handsome guy right here. So hello, Michelle, Daniela, Christy, Wendy, Nikki. Hello, hello, friends. Thank you for joining us. I am here tonight with this handsome guy right here, my husband Thomas. Thomas, take it away and just give me a second. I want to take it away and introduce yourself.
yes. My name is Thomas. I'm Leslie's husband, also known as Pasha Dude X. X.
For those who've watched this before, you know he can be quite a character. Swag Slayer fashion. Tiana just came on. Hey, Tiana, what's going on? Yes, Thomas can be really funny when he wants to. So, Thomas, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Hey, Rhonda.
Well, I was born. No, really. I retired from the fire department before I met Leslie about 11 years ago. While I was a fireman, I started probably my last 2 years starting to look on the internet to see how I could kind of make some money. So from there, I started doing eBay. And I've been doing eBay pretty much since then until very recently. I just decided to give them up probably a year ago or so.
Mhm.
So I have really a whole bunch of multiple streams of income, none of which are really do I really concentrate on. So I make a little money here, a little money there, a little money there. And I decided recently that just to give up a couple of things I was doing and try to concentrate a little bit more on Poshmark, which I only started doing about, I guess I got 2 years in now.
Mhm.
So my sales have started to pick up because, I concentrate on it a little bit better. But that's who I am. That's what I do.
Okay, check your volume, darling. So Wendy says, my good friend Wendy, she says, Thomas, you can just tell people you are Leslie's husband and they will know you for sure then. He already gets that. Tell them what happens when you go to the bin sometimes, to the outlet.
Well, when they find out who I am, I tell them who you are, and then suddenly they seem to know. Oh, Leslie. Yeah, I know her. I watch her all the time. So
Yeah, that
nobody
is
knows. Nobody knows me, but they know you.
people know who you are. You're my husband. See?
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm Stedman. Yeah.
He said he'll be stepping to my Oprah. So, hey,
Mhm.
Quimby. Yes. So, that is what happens sometimes when he goes to the bins or the outlet. People will say, or sometimes they won't even approach him. And I'm like, why don't you just go say hi? I don't know if he gives off that, vibe or whatever. Because
Yeah.
sometimes if he's not like talking to you, you may get that vibe that he has a mean look on his face or something, and it doesn't bother me. But some people will send me messages and said, I saw your husband from across the room at the bins. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Because I was like, he didn't come home and tell me that he saw anyone today. So there are those situations. And I think it's whatever. Anybody have any questions for Thomas? Leave them in the comments. I'll pull them up on the screen. So tell us a little bit about your reselling. So why did you leave eBay?
I left eBay because I had a lot of stuff listed, and they charge you a listing fee every month. So if your stuff doesn't sell, you're still paying for it. So sometimes you'll have something that's been sitting there, I don't know, 2 months, 6 months, a year, longer, if you don't update like you should, and you're steady paying for something. Eventually it gets to the point where you've paid more in fees than what you're asking for.
Mhm.
And I just didn't like that setup. And I got tired of it. And some months I'd make a lot of money, and some months I wouldn't. And some months my fees would be almost equal to what I made. So, I just kind of got tired of that. So.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, with the news. Is a couple
No,
people.
you know what? Listen, the thing to know is there's something about me being on camera. When I get on camera, my nose itches. It's some kind of nervous tick or something, but my nose starts.
He has an itchy nose. He's not digging up there for gold. He has an itchy nose. Okay, so from here it looks like you're like. So there are a couple people here who do sell on eBay. How are you? How is your experience with eBay? If you have any questions or anything like that, maybe Thomas can help you. Maybe you can help him. I just recently started listing some things on eBay again, only because I have List Perfectly. If you guys can tell Thomas the magic of List Perfectly, that's the only reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I started adding some things on there. I made 2 sales back to back, and I'll just add some stuff. But what will happen again in December is I will decide whether I'm keeping eBay, because I'm definitely getting rid of Depop. I may let Macquarie go. And Etsy and Poshmark, I'll probably hold on to those. But so I'll see. I have a few weeks. Somebody has to catch up somewhere, and we'll see what happens. Also, Victoria, hello. So Michelle says, so true. I went through the same thing with eBay, Thomas, in the beginning.
Yeah, like I said, it just annoys me, the fees, and I also think it's kind of unnecessarily complicated when you list. I've gotten so used to the ease of listing on Poshmark. I can do it in literally 2 minutes. I can have something, listed and done. And I'm not selling nearly as much as I was when I was on eBay, because I've had some really great months, but the fees just annoy me. Simple as that,
Yeah. So I'm going to answer this. So for Gen B, the reason that I'm dropping Depop is because I'm not making any sales. Depop was a great platform for me at the end of 2018, at the beginning of 2019. Back then, I didn't really like their shipping process, so that's why I stopped selling. But when I picked it up again, it's really not enough to attract me. Otherwise, it's a good platform. I think it's a great platform for young people. It's a great platform for vintage. So normally, because now that I have List Perfectly, I take my vintage and a lot of my tie-dye stuff and I put it over to Depop. They haven't caught up as far as I'm concerned. I need them to have more photos. I need to have them to have a little bit more options. But then also, I'm trying to scale or streamline my business. And sometimes having too much is not always the answer to the solution. If you focus on specific platforms, then you can achieve the same goals. And that's what Thomas is talking about. He gave up eBay, but now he's putting his attention in Poshmark. So what kind of things do you sell on Poshmark, sweetie? So for those who are just joining, I'm calling him Sweetie because he's my husband, and he is Thomas, better known as Posha Dude X.
I basically specialize in shoes. I'm becoming more and more specialized though. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm just getting certain brands that I always sell. Like, for example, I was looking at the number of Uggs that I sold in the past couple of years, and it's like I've sold like 50 pair of Uggs. So I'm working with Uggs. I'm working with some of the other shoe brands like Nike sneakers, Uggs, Dance Goes. I'm trying to kind of keep it in these certain brands because they always seem to sell. As long as they're popular, that's what sells. So that's the brands I try to acquire. This is the season, for some reason, Cowboy Boots. The Dan Post Cowboy Boots, all the different really high-end brands, and some of the Mexican brands that some of them don't only have labels on them, but Cowboy Boots are selling well. It's starting to get to the season where the women's high boots are selling, different brands and stuff like that. But basically, shoes. I do dabble in jeans. Like I'm trying to specialize in just Levi's. Levi's and Carhartt jeans always seem to sell. So I'm becoming more brand specific on the things I sell. Whereas when I first started, I was just putting anything up there.
Right.
But I'm trying to get a supply of a whole bunch of Uggs, a whole bunch of Dance Goes, because they sell.
Yeah, Dance Goes. He actually has. Do you still have those bins of Dance Goes in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Dance Goes. That's like Even his shoe guy, he's always coming home with all these dance codes. So a question for the people in the comments: Can you hear Thomas? Okay, he sounds a little low on my end, but if you can hear him, then it's not an issue. I have a couple questions. That's great, Quimby. Quimby, the Grateful Queen. If you are not following her, please follow her, and at the Grateful Therapist as well. Quimby is a psychotherapist by day and a reseller rest of the time. She loves a good hunt, and she sells on eBay primarily, and Poshmark is her side, John. Her side.
Here's that word again.
Yes, Christy Blocker's here. If you don't know, you know, sorry y'all, I'm from Philly. The John, you can, substitute that. I'm not saying the cuss word though. Yes, hit the thumbs up, please. It's 17 people here. There should be 17 thumbs up. I'll come back to somebody who asked me about Etsy. I tried eBay a couple months, but it's so monstrous. Yes, I felt overwhelmed by them. And it's really like everybody has their different interpretation, because I was earlier watching Sarah Stiles and Chris from Daily Refinement, and just listening to them talk about like their process and everything could really like intimidate people. I mean, they're really both hustlers and stuff, but it's like, it's not for everyone. And I definitely think you should stay in your lane and do what works for you. But I definitely think you should at least try it. Thomas, he has sold on eBay, so he can tell you his experiences. Do not stray away because someone is telling you their experience.
Absolutely. It works for some people. It just stopped working for me. And
okay, everybody hears you. So everybody hears you fine. Great.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it just doesn't work for me. And basically, I just got annoyed with it. There's nothing wrong with eBay. Nothing wrong with it. I just got annoyed with paying these fees. And, part of it is because I wasn't, taking things out that I should have and relisting and stuff like that. But, I've got so many other things that I do. I didn't really feel at the time I had time to do that.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the other things that you're doing then. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the flea market first. You've been selling a flea market seller for how long? And are you still doing it? And what are you doing at the flea market?
I don't even really know how long I've been doing it. I think it's somewhere along 25 years or so. But the flea market to me is not just about selling, because, of course I go out there to make money. But it's about the social aspect of it. I have a lot of flea market friends and people that come by, and we sit and we talk, we chat. You're outdoors and in the sun, or sometimes in the cold. But it's more of a just a social event. And the thing about the flea market that is fantastic to me is you can find anything you think of at a flea market. I mean, I've seen guys selling like mounted water buffalo heads, clothing, shoes, jewelry, tools, anything and everything. If you need it, it's there. Industrial tools, artwork, it's there.
Yeah, and I think I don't go out like Thomas does. I have in the past helped him, but I would do it in duress if I have to do it now. Like if he really needed me, because I did the vending life, and that's what it is to me. It's like you're outdoors and there's people all over. And after a while, I'm just like, it is just too much going on out there. So, but it is a great place to meet people and build, make connections. I've talked about that in videos, how Thomas makes connections. So you meet people at the flea market, they each do something different. Like he has a guy he just bought some tires from, but then he has a guy who may sell coats. Then he has a guy who might sell shoes. So it's really great for relationship building, right, Thomas?
Absolutely. And also it's a fantastic place to source for things that you sell online. Like I got this fantastic pair of alligator skin boots, and I've gotten a bunch of offers. I'm trying to hold out on my offers.
Wait, tell them about the lady who sold you the boots.
Oh yeah. So I see these boots. I'm like, oh man, those are nice. And they were like in pristine condition. So I pick them up and I look at them and I look them over, right? And she's like, I asked for a price, because flea market is about negotiating. I said, I wanted to get them for like $5 less. She says, oh no, I can't do it for that. And she says, my husband made these boots, and they're worth X number of dollars. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. So I gave her a price, and then I look at the boots say made in Mexico. So she just, in my opinion, she just flat out lied, which was really unnecessary. She just
Yeah.
could have said, no, the price I want is the price I want. But her husband made him. I don't think so. But that happens.
Yeah, it did happen. So I'm gonna go to some of the questions here. I'm gonna go up. So this is Chrissy, our girl from Philly. What's your favorite flea market, and do you prefer to be in the front, in the back, or the middle?
The flea market I go to is so crowded that it's almost catch a spot wherever you can. But there's a certain spot that I go to because if you're at this spot, it's a spot. It's actually, I guess the answer to the question is in the back.
Mhm.
Um, there's a road that separates people that are in the blacktop area, which is considered premium, and then there's people that are in the dirt, which is grass and dirt. Um, and that's for the people that get there earlier. They set up there earlier than the people on the blacktop come. So I guess I would say in the back would be the answer to my question.
Yeah.
To her question, Christy.
Yeah, and he sold at when I met him, he was doing it. He still does it on occasion, but when I met him, he was selling at Cowtown, Christy. And I know you've probably been there. You're from Philly and all. Not that means anything, because before I met Thomas, I didn't even know Cowtown. I used to go to Quakertown and Glen, out there.
But to further answer a question, it's called the Newcastle Farmers Market. But I have sold at about 6 or 7 different markets over the years. And they're all pretty much the same to me. You can go there, you can find what you want, but some of them don't allow people to sell brand new stuff. Some of them do. Some places that you go want you to have a tax ID number, depending on what state you're in. Because sometimes I venture over into Pennsylvania to some of the markets over there. But like I said, I enjoy it, and it's a good way to get rid of your death list, or death pile, as they call it.
Yeah.
You can, if you got some stuff that's been sitting around and you need to sell it and get rid of it and at least get something for it, bring it out to the flea market.
Yeah.
It'll sell.
Yeah, so it's literally up the street from our bins. And so Thomas can tell you that you can tell who sources at the bins, because then they're all selling the same kind of stuff, right, sweetie? But when we went, and then the flea market is on Friday. So that was so cool about going to the bins last Friday. It was empty because he's always preparing me. I haven't been in a while. So with all the new procedures, he was preparing me for how it would be. And we literally flowed in there without a problem. But then I didn't want to get too attached to that, because I go next time, it'd be crowded, it'd be raining, don't want to go by myself, because I'm not going to be fighting with folks. They see Thomas, nobody's coming to mess with them. So he's my protector there. Let's see. So we have so we talked about the flea market. We talked about, let me get to some questions first. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. My honey is on the screen. She said, so Quimby says, also things we were talking about, selling on different platforms. Things are always changing on platforms, so we might change too, which is true, and sell more or less. Exactly. And then now we were talking about this in our group, and like a large majority of people from our group is here, my private group on Instagram, my tribe, and we were talking about all the places that are closing again. Nevada for Pamela, who just visited me a couple weeks ago. She's an educator. Their schools have closed. Daniela, who's in Rhode Island, their state is closing and the hospital is filled to capacity. So since things are closing down, you might have some success selling on a different platform. People, we don't know what the job security situation is going to be. So start gearing up, make sure you have supplies. Okay, so this is Nikki, Glow Girl Glow. How can a person get started with selling at a flea market? I have one by my house. And that can segue into, he's writing an ebook about flea market, how to sell at the flea market.
Well, the thing to do, first of all, is actually go to the flea market. See what the demographics are. What kind of people are there? Are they Spanish speaking like ours? Are they Anglo-Saxon? Are they black people? Who's there? And just look at who's selling and what they're selling, and then kind of judge, by that. Also, just like selling online, you could probably sell some things that you have in your house, clothing, furniture, gadgets, whatever. Sell what you have, So that's the way you get started. Just go. I prefer to use tables and signs and stuff like that because I know that some people don't even have the ability to bend down, but some people just put stuff on the ground, on a tarp. I always use tables and racks and signs, and I make it very easy for people. And I kind of set my flea market up almost like a department store.
Like a store.
Yeah, everything is set up neatly as possible on a table.
All the sizes.
Yep, I'll size everything. Yeah, and I make it as easy as possible for people, and also the sign just gives you advantage because people always, no matter what, even with the signs, I got these big yellow signs. They'll just say, "How much?" And you want to say, "Look at the sign."
Just like we online, right?
Yeah,
They'll look at it. It's right here on the table. Is this still available? I'm just playing.
Yeah, but you know, it also a flea market will help you with your people skills. You have to learn how to just like online. You can't be blasting people when they ask you what I consider to be dumb questions because people claim there's no such thing as a dumb question. I disagree. Some questions are just dumb, and you have to learn how to be tactful, be nice, smile, laugh. Especially there's a language barrier, and I speak a word or two of Spanish, so I can kind of figure out what they want. But it's a great way to work on your social skills because some of the people that will come will rub your nerves the wrong way. Some of them will make you laugh. Some of them you'll get into a deep conversation with. It's a social event too. So.
Okay, so there's a super chat. I was telling you about a super chat earlier. You see it? That green. Did it come up on your screen?
No,
I gotta scroll down. Wait a minute. Terry just gave me a super chat.
Okay.
Whoa. Wait a minute. There it is. See, support small business when possible. So that's a super chat. Thank you, Terry.
Okay.
And that's it. It translates into money. So yes, I am monetized. Anybody wants to throw out a super chat or join my membership group? It's $2.99 a month, and you get behind the scenes. I'm going to be cooking and baking. All those people who asked me about cooking and baking, I'm only doing it for people in my membership group now. So we'll have you, if you're already in my group, it would make sense for you to join my membership group because we can chat live. I'm trying to get up to 10 before I start doing a lot of the stuff. I don't want the two people who are in my membership group not to benefit, but I want more people to come on so we can have fun. I'll just be popping in. You can go to the grocery store with me. Like tomorrow, Thomas and I are probably going to Whole Foods, which I've been here for 8 years and we haven't visited the Whole Foods. It's because it's not local like I'm used to having a Whole Foods. So let's see. Oh, Wendy asked, you see it? What's your strategy for selling shoes, brand style?
It's definitely brand. I sell mostly men's shoes. I'm trying to step into the realm of women's shoes, but I just don't have the ability to find women's shoes and know what the styles are. But like I said, the things that will always sell are, like I said, Danskos, Uggs. It's basically branding though. Whatever the brand is, if they're in good shape, I can take a good picture. I know they're pretty much will sell, And because of the connections I made, I get them so cheap, I can charge a little bit less than what other people may charge for them, and that helps me get sales. So I'd say brand more than anything else.
Cool. Okay, I see a couple people. I Live Dreams. That's Charlene. Hello. There's Terry Tucker. Hello, Terry Tucker.
Hey, sis.
That's Thomas's sister. Hello. Thomas and Terry are the oldest two of 8. Yes, he has 7 siblings. It is 7 sibs. Yes. Is there a fee to sell at the flea market? There's
always a fee. You'll pay anywhere from $15 to $50, depending on where you go. Like there's a market I used to go to up in North Jersey, which is on the grounds of the Meadowlands, where the Giants play football. Mm-hmm. And I think back then they were charging like $55, but you would get so much traffic, people coming across the bridge and the tunnels from New York. You get so much traffic, it'd be well worth the $55. But I'm paying generally $20. Mm-hmm. So, hey, it's worth it.
And then you make that back like after a few sales. So Wendy said, how do you join my membership group? You cannot join from an iPhone or an iPad. You can go into Safari or Google Chrome and open it up is a join button next to my subscribe button. So you can do it on a desktop or you can do it on an Android. Yes, this gives Thomas the chance to say those Apple products. But Apple has not linked up with YouTube for some reason. But right at my next to my subscribe button, there's a join button, and when you click it, it opens up and tell you what you get at every membership level. I'll be doing shout outs. I'll be bringing people on live with me and doing videos with them and things like that. So I'm slowly looking forward to it. I just wanted to grow a little bit more before we get to the fun. Hey, Tasha, hello. So Quimby just ordered her first thread-up shoebox. Great. I've had 2 thread-up shoe boxes, Quimby. They've moored and paid for themselves. So I definitely, and of course I've had those Jomar, you've asked me, Quimby is a Jomar affiliate too, Thomas. I just got in a great vintage box. I'm going to be doing a haul on Saturday. It's better for me to do those videos, but it is awesome, this box. Let's see. Seeing if anybody has any. Oh, yeah. So same question. So it is monthly. When do the membership? It starts as soon as you start, but the cheapest one is $2.99. And actually you get a lot for the $2.99. That's, you get the whole behind the scenes. So you'll already see me with welcome videos and things like that. And you'll get me cooking and things, and then it's different levels. The first level just gets that basic, and then each level you get shout outs. I'm going to be doing shout outs in my videos, and it'll stay in my videos. I'll be bringing people on. I'll be having private Q&As where we can talk, and I'll be bringing people on to the lives with me. So each level gets the level before it. It gets the whole package. So don't break yourself or do anything. I just, want to put that out. So Quimby says, oh, good, I love thread up. Just open another awesome women's box, but never tried shoes. That's what I wanted to ask Thomas, have him look at thread up and see if he's interested in getting some clothes. I had not thought to do that, Quimby. Yeah, I wanted to see, that's, they have men's, just like Jomar does, thread up has boxes, but I'm not an affiliate. You just buy, they have like what they call rescue boxes. But Quimby, if I'm correct, I think it's 25 pounds for $44 or something like that. So Quimby, she does a whole lot of unboxing. Okay, so let's talk about, we were just talking about the flea market, but talk about your ebook that you're writing. Why did you decide to write an ebook, and what is it going to be about? And why do you think you're an expert in that?
Well, I decided to write the ebook because it has a lot to do with the times that we're in. This pandemic is causing a lot of people to try to find alternative ways to make money, right? And I know several people that make their total living at the flea market and then some. So, I figured it's a good way to get people to start thinking about alternative ways to make money, get them out there. When you earn a little money, you don't have to go to the food line, go to, charity to get yourself, a little bit of money, even if you make $100, it's better, long as my saying, like I always say, is when I come, whatever I come with, if I go home with more, I did all right. So that's the main reason. What's the second part of that question?
So the first book, why were you writing an ebook? What makes you qualified to write an ebook? But you already said, so due to the pandemic.
Yeah. What makes me qualified? Well, just that makes anybody qualified. I've done it. I've done it for years. I've sold so many different things. I've sold everything from tractor trailer loads of health and beauty aids to food, clothing, shoes, electronics. I've sold so many things and been pretty successful at it. So am I an expert? Yeah, I'm an expert.
So
I'm
you
an
also
expert
have
at what I do. So
I already know that. So this is for the people. I already know who you are, sweetie. I know who you are. Talk about your clean out business.
Well, the clean out business, which is one of the many forms of income, I get a good supply of things that I actually can sell, some of it online and some of it at the flea market. So everything kind of works together. Like, for example, I had a clean out. Oh my God, it was pouring down raining last week, where I took a bunch of stuff. And a lot of it was scrap metal, so I take it to the scrap yard and get money for that. There was a fairly new riding mower. I got a friend of mine to help me get the mower into his van. He pays me for that, and then the guy paid me extra because the mower was so heavy.
Wow.
So it's a like I said, it's a circular thing. I get I get things that help me sell at the flea market from the cleanouts.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
and some things I can sell online. So,
Yeah, I definitely like that. I don't know from Thomas's perspective because there are jobs that they're like is heavy work and sometimes he has to hire people or whatever. But I do like some of the benefits. He'll come home and I can kind of go through some of the stuff. And I remember it was a woman, he cleaned out her house, and I've actually sold a few things from there. Some of the things were vintage, and it just is really cool. It's like, one, they're paying you, so you're taking the stuff away, then you can sell some things. And at one time when it was still nice, right, in the spring, we put out tables and Thomas just put an ad on Facebook and just let people come and get the stuff for free. It just made more sense. And that the reason why is because of the pandemic, nothing was open. So that was a really smart thing that he did. I went around and picked out some things that I wanted, and he was able to get rid of some things.
yep.
But I was looking because it seems like it's a delay on our end. So, what kind of advice would you give to someone who, I mean, we've probably talked about this before, but now things have changed. People are really want to make some money and they want to learn some different things. And that's why I'm moving into like the coaching perspective to kind of help people kind of get their business going. What would advice would you give someone who's just starting off?
Well, like I said earlier, the question people ask me, well, what can I sell? Whether it's online, flea market, whatever it is, you know, whether it's information products, whether it's a hard item, clothing, electronics, whatever, right? I think it's more important to know who your audience is before you try to figure out what to sell. Because you can get something and think, oh, I think this is sell, but nobody's interested in it. You know? So you got to figure out how to do some research, whether it's online research or going to the flea market or whatever it is you do. You have to research before you make an investment. Try to get this stuff as cheaply as possible. You know, always get there early, have a nice display, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, so that's the most important. Who are you going to sell to is more important than what you're going to sell. So,
Yeah, I definitely think you have to kind of know like your target audience. Actually saw that twice today. You have to have an idea of who you're selling to, because really, I mean, I'm pretty sure all the ladies can attest to this. But I watch a lot of Quimby's videos, and she and I chat, so I know that she can literally sell just about anything. She can sell bread and butter because she sells on eBay, and it also depends on what platform you decide. I mean, people who started on Poshmark, they think that Poshmark has a certain way or certain item or certain style. But I started selling on Poshmark almost 5 years ago, just items that I got from the outlet. I didn't know anything about fashion. I didn't know anything about brands, and I would come home and just put it on there and sell it. Thomas started bringing me stuff home first before I started sourcing, and that's a lot of that stuff was vintage, and I wasn't even aware of that at the time. I was just selling it. I asked him to bring me some women's clothes. He would bring it, and I would put it on there. And that's kind of how I got started until I figured some things out on my own. But I think you also should leave room, to learn and see what's going to sell. There are things, yes, be on the lookout, but everyone's shopping. If they're shopping for it in the store, they're going to shop for it in your store online.
and I think this is going to be the biggest year ever for online sales and flea market sales because,
Yeah,
you know, there's some people that are just afraid to leave their home. I'm not afraid to leave my home. I'm afraid of catching the virus.
yeah.
But there's certain things they do. Like, for example, they changed the way they set the flea market up. There's a buffer zone between the other vendors of at least a car length, so
Mhm.
the width of a car, and there's a huge buffer zone between you and your customers, like 10 feet or 10 or 12 feet. So you can be out there and feel relatively safe. Now you may have an issue with taking money. So I've started to accept alternative forms of payment.
Mhm.
Cash App. You
Yeah,
know,
it's good.
you know,
Good stuff.
As a matter of
Yeah,
fact,
but you have one of those arm things. I just saw that
yeah,
somebody was
yeah,
selling baked goods and they would just
yeah,
put the arm
yeah.
thing
You
and
just,
hand it.
just pick it up and grab it.
Yeah, the
Put it,
grabber. You have
yeah,
one of those. Yeah, you have one
put,
right down there. Take it
yeah,
with you next time you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I just saw
Put it
somebody.
in a bucket, something like that. But I think it's going to be the biggest year ever
Yeah,
for online sales.
yeah,
Everybody, especially the fact that the virus is getting worse. I don't know if we're in the second wave or the third wave, but every day on the news you're hearing about how many more people are dying, how many more people are getting it, and people still want to shop and have some quality of life. So they want stuff.
yeah.
I mean, America is built on stuff. We always want stuff. We want more clothes, more this, the newest iPhone, the newest bigger TV. Like one of my friends was selling the TV. The darn TV was, oh my God, it's big. I'm like, so would you trade that and get a bigger TV? Oh yeah, I got a bigger TV. The TV was like bigger than my arm span. I'm like, oh my God, you got a movie theater in your house? He's like, hey, I got to watch the games. But,
it's like everybody in the game can see you. Yeah,
everybody.
And we're really like a material, society. And one thing I think that you and I are pretty cheap. I buy stuff just for business. I spend more stuff on business things than we spend in our house. So
I'm straight cheap.
I say that. Yeah, Thomas is cheap. I'm a little.
I'm cheap. I'm sorry. It has a lot to do with the fact that I grew up with so many siblings. I don't have a need for a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the only thing I'll spend money on is my computers. I got.
Well, he still doesn't spend like. He still doesn't get like new computers because I'm like, I want a MacBook, and so his thought, like my thought, is totally new MacBook. Thomas doesn't go in that direction. He wants to go to his computer guy, and the computer guy said, "You want a MacBook? What kind of Mac?" No, I already have my mindset. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna get a new one. Yeah, I want a new iPad. I've already traded that up, but they're business tools, they're write-offs, but other than that, everything that I have in here that I've spent money on recently have been business stuff. Talk about buying some clothes or something. I'm not even trying to buy clothes. I'm not trying to buy shoes. I'm looking at like, do I need a winter coat? That kind of stuff. So I know that my business is going to grow. This pandemic has really put us in a place that we can position ourselves so well to grow these online businesses. So I am just collecting the tools to help me grow. So hopefully, I've been talking about pivoting and marketing your business and all that stuff. So hopefully everyone's doing it. But I want to go back to Quimby real quick. Quimby, first of all, your videos are awesome. I got to catch up to you. I went in and clicked on her Stitch Fix video today, and it's just like a video, like she's got like a television program over there. So check her out. She came to mind because I was going to click on her right there. Do you think it's important to like what you sell? That's a good one for Thomas.
No, I don't.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
I don't, because I'm not really attached to things. I think in the best both worlds, because like I know from some people, for example, that sell only musical instruments. They're musicians. Yeah, they play music. And they do pretty well, but I don't think that's important now.
Yeah,
you got to give the people. There's a song. You got to give the people what they want.
You got to get it. You got to give the people what they want. How's it go? I know the song. It's just like I can't sing. I can't sing. And wait, I'm gonna click on this. Oh my gosh, Thomas, I love how you have sold so many things, like totally diversified. Awesome. I like to joke that I would sell my own mother. She'd be hard to sell as a bossy 85-year-old. Too funny. So
thank you.
Yeah, so everyone check out Island Dream. She just put 3 new videos up. I think she just redid her videos. Everyone should be supporting each other. You should be talking in the comments, getting your information out there. Drop your information, say hello to a new friend, hit the thumbs up, join my group. All those good things to help me stay monetized and create some good quality videos and things. The money that I make, I'm using to get some new equipment. I just got a new GoPro, so I'm going to play around with that tomorrow when Thomas and I go out to see how I can get that going. Because
you're going to get the helmet.
I don't know. I have to get that later, but I feel so old trying to figure out this GoPro. I have the battery charging now so that I can have it ready for tomorrow. But I am super excited. I love what it does. If you have a GoPro, you should be using it for videos, not just for outside. Thomas, he said to me, I forgot to tell him I had a GoPro. I don't know why. But when we were at the bins, he was like, oh yeah, some people use the GoPro and they have it in their helmet. I was like, I have a GoPro. All the extra stuff costs money. So like, I'll get that packet from Amazon because the GoPro stuff, all those attachments are expensive. And I got my GoPro. They were having to sell $150 off for the most brand new recent one with the front camera. The 9, everyone before that doesn't have a front camera. This one does. So that's super exciting. So I can't wait to use it. So Quimby says, yay for being cheap. I am frugal to the core, but I love beautiful things too and surround myself with them, but I don't pay up. Yes, no, Quimby's really good with getting the boxes. She gets the Joe Mar to thread up. But that's a really important thing that Quimby just said, because as a reseller, even in your sourcing, you have to be resourceful. Okay, you get it? You're resourceful in sourcing. So you don't want to spend a whole lot of money to make money. It doesn't take a lot. Chris on Daily Refinement was just saying that again today, where he can go and, get some things, and he's got his business scaled to a point where even if he's only getting $10, especially like on Poshmark, whereas eBay, he has a whole different kind of model. But you have to think about before you go spend the money, because then you're stuck with it. So it's really important to pay attention. You just because you're a reseller does not mean you need to buy everything. But we've all learned that. I've learned that too. I've gotten rid of things, and now my business, I know it sells for me. Vintage is on fire for me, so I'm kind of sticking with that. And for Thomas, like shoes, what else do you sell, sweetie? We're going into the winter time. So what are some of the things that you sell going into this?
I just listed today a bunch of ski pants because, it snowed a couple times in the Rockies already. Even though we're having 70-degree weather, my son's out in Colorado, and he, shot a film of his car covered with snow. So ski jackets and ski pants, I listed a bunch of them today. So I try to follow the seasons. I put a couple of winter weight, heavy wet leather coats up. But like I said, and also the fur lined boots. I started to sell a couple of those. I sold a nice pair of Eddie Bauer, these huge boots with the fur lining in them. I sold a pair of those, and I got good money for them too.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to follow the seasons, but I'm really probably going to end up just selling shoes eventually, because they sell by far the most. I'll dabble and sell a jacket, sell jeans, but I'll sell shoes to everything else, maybe a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 pairs of shoes, 1 of this. So and plus most Americans wear shoes.
Yeah, somebody asked me after they saw the video, us going to the bins, and just a quick note on that. I filmed the video last Friday, and I pieced it together. The longer version is here on YouTube, where we went to the bins, 2 retail stores, and just a couple minutes at the flea market. But on Instagram, on IGTV, that one is the bins. 1.7 views, 1.7 thousand views on that video. It's amazing what people are interested in. And Nikki's joking. She's playing around with me over here, because remember we were driving and I was talking and I tried to turn the camera on him, and Thomas says it's because it's an iPhone. I'm supposed to be able to click a button and this it's just switched to him, but I had to say my part and then switch it to him because I couldn't get it to switch. So Nikki, whatever. And yes, so Terry is encouraging everyone to hit the thumbs up. There are currently 15 people on, so there should be 15 or more thumbs up. Set a reminder for future videos. If you haven't been looking at my videos, I do have 198 videos available, and it's a lot of different content. Yesterday's video was about marketing. It's longer than the video on IGTV. So anytime I drop a video on IGTV, always come over to YouTube, because I do longer content here on YouTube. IG is just to kind of get some things out there, because eventually they will be monetized. So I just want to make sure. So she says, Terry is right. You have been glowing this whole time. You can see how your man makes you feel. Y'all better stop. Okay. Let's see. That's Tiana. Charlene, you are more than welcome. I try to give shout out to everyone. Swag Slayer Fashion, she will be on tomorrow, her first live here on YouTube. She is on Instagram, so you should be following her. I interviewed her and had a great chat with her last Thursday. So if you want to, after you leave here or not, check out the video from last week. You want to check out Brunch with Divas. She was just on with Nikki this week. I'll be on with her next week. My girl Rhonda, and you could go back about 3 weeks, and she was on here with me as well. Maria, hi Maria, how are you, darling? Maria is my good friend from Boston, and this is for you, sweetie, and her handsome Thomas. Maria, it was actually a year ago when I met the group of people in Boston. Maria, she suffers from vertigo and she very rarely leaves her house, but she blessed me by coming to my hotel and coming out to break bread with us. So, hey, Maria. So that was such a wonderful experience there. Selling only things we like could be limiting in closed doors. I want to do the doors pretty much flung wide open. Yes, Ashley at Hustle and Home Mom even sells car parts. Well, Thomas can tell you about that, right, darling?
I've done that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the Lincoln Town cars were being used for limousines, the Lincoln guys would always need parts. So one day, I found a cheap Lincoln that didn't run so good, and I pulled it to my house and I just covered it with a tarp and just started dismantling. I think I probably made 5 times or 6 times what I paid for the car, because every little thing on a car, just about any car, somebody needs that part. And if they can't find it at a junkyard, and if I had a big property, I would think about doing that. Just have some cars back there, cover them up, and just sell parts off the cars. Junkyards do that all the time. So, yeah, car parts.
Yeah,
And some of them, especially aftermarket parts, you can get brand new from I guess what's the site for stuff coming from China? Alibaba.
Alibaba.
Yeah, you could find a lot of aftermarket parts and buy them brand new and sell car parts.
And one thing that people don't realize, we have everything within our house. If you want to start with what you have. If you're thinking about going onto a new platform, say you don't sell on Mercari, but you're interested in selling on Mercari, and you can put some clothes on Mercari, but you can sell everything. I went down into my basement. Thomas knows I started going through drawers and things. I'm a baker by trade, so I started getting rid of old pans and things that were just taking up space. I'm going to start doing that in the next few weeks. That's a really great way to sell things, your own online garage sale, instead of donating it. See what you can find. And talking about parts, I know someone, if you guys know Vasquez Vintage, they and their son sell all vintage, and they get these radios. Just like Thomas has a contact, they have a contact where they pick up all these radios once or twice a week, and they're all vintage. But their son just started getting into taking apart video games and selling pieces, taking apart radios, and he does like the 80s, 90s radios, and they have the older radios. So you can go through your house and find whatever. I'm selling cake pans. I'm selling all kinds of stuff. All these Christmas decorations that I got at my last position. So just think outside of the box and stop sourcing. Go through your house first is a great way to clean it out, because for the most part, we are naturally hoarders, unless you're living a minimalistic life, right? Anything else you would like to share with us, sweetie?
Well, as far as the flea market and online sales are it's a good way to make side income, but I think eventually many people will find that you're lacking something, and really what I think people really want more than anything else is information, and I think we're both going in that direction. I'm, as you are so fond of telling me, I am getting old. And the clean out business is getting to the point where sometimes I just don't feel like dealing with it. But the flea market and the clean out has done me well for so long. I think there's information that I can pass on to people to help them at least get started and earn a little extra money. And if you want to decide to make that your full-time income, you can do that too. Yeah. But I think we're both at a point where we're ready to just start being information brokers, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
Give the people what they need. And what people need more than anything else is information. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll give you a good example. Thomas is right about that. First, I'm going to say hello to Shop Foxborough, who is Brittany. Hello, friend. But I can give you example that information is the way to go. I started this channel in 2019. In January 2019, I put my first video out. But I felt like it was too much competition with all the hauls and what sold, so I stopped in early March, and I took a whole year off, and I started again back in May. And right when the pandemic hit and the BLMA, Black Lives Matter and all this stuff started going on, I came back onto YouTube and I started providing information. I started teaching about Facebook and Pinterest and things like that. And that's how I grew. I do a lot of other videos, but I still teach about Instagram. I do very few unboxings. I do Jomar because I'm an affiliate. So of course I want to get the word out. I do, Passion Planner because I'm affiliate. BNG, I am affiliate. I just haven't gotten any boxes because some places aren't worth me. I still have to buy to get the items in order to, talk about them. So I just started putting information out. And from May, when I had 130 subscribers, up to now where I have 1,300 and some subscribers, and I'm monetized. So they're hungry for this information. I'm creating, my ebook has sold. I have another ebook. I'm writing courses. I have a whole lot of things. I'm providing information. And I've been teaching that to you guys. Provide information, because our goal is to be able to truly retire. But, in that way we can travel. Even if we're retired, the information that we have, once you create it and you list it and you hit that digital attachment, that's it. That is income that is always going to be there. It's like you set it and you forget it. No product after that. Like what Tiana from Swag Slayer Fashion is trying to do. Write that ebook, get it out there, and then the money's going to come in from there. You just have to market yourself and give it a big push. And that's the reason why you want to have a community as well. So that's why I want like Thomas to kind of talk to people, because it's people who know me, but they don't know, they don't know necessarily him through me. So I want him to get his own presence. So then when he goes to promote the ebook, he has people who are ready to buy it and everything. So let me look at some of the questions over here.
And while you're looking, but in the meantime,
information brokers, yes.
Guys go on Poshmark Dude X and look at some of my stuff. In the meantime.
He said, go look. First of all, everyone should be following Thomas. He is Poshmark Dude X on Instagram. And it's the same name on Poshmark, Poshmark Dude X. Okay. I don't know how he came up with that name, but hey, so follow him on Instagram, like his stuff. He's trying to get used to it. So I push him a little bit. Everyone knows I am a pusher. It's just for your best interest at heart. I'm all about speaking life and pushing you into, of course, you already know your destiny. Some people are hesitant, but that's okay. It won't last long. So Thomas is the only one that he's like, what? I can only do a little bit of time. Okay. Other people though, I'll be like, I'll be back in a minute. Like Wendy, I'm like, I'll be back in. I told Wendy she has until January, but I got you. So Nikki says, how do you know which information to give for free and which information to charge for? Very great information. I'll let Thomas handle that part first, but I know the answer to that. Go ahead, sweetie.
Well, I guess my theory is based on a book that I read years ago by the author's name is Robert Allen, and he talks about people being in a pond, and you feed the fish, little tidbits of information, but you don't give it to them all. So give them something valuable, but give them something small, because your ultimate goal is to get them to buy something from you. And that's the truth. So just some little tidbit that'll help them through the day, or help them get a little bit farther than what they're trying to do, and eventually they'll probably buy something from you. But basically, how do you know which information is? Yeah. Anything that could be helpful, anything.
Yeah, and that's what Nikki knows that. That's what I tell Nikki. I'm like, okay, that one sheet, that's it. Don't give any more stuff away. You want to give them a little bit, or you want to have a package and then throw in a freebie. So it's that free word that people love. That's the thing. But you can give a little bit of stuff away. We all make videos. We just give enough so that they're coming back for more. So in one video, you just give enough and you're like, okay, well, what's going on? And so that's why I wrote my ebook, because people were like asking me all these questions. And I'm like, wow, like in a day, if you have 100 people, if you have 100 people reaching out to you, asking you questions, I just went into that mode. And I talked about that today when Tiana was talking about her ebook. I wasn't, and Thomas could tell you, I said, I'm going to write an ebook and it'll probably take me a couple months. I started the first day of February. I was done in a couple days. I gave a copy to him, Wendy, Kayla. They all read it and gave me all their corrections and everything. And then I sat down and it was released by February 19th. And then I just redid the ebook. So now I have other things that I'm working on. So it's sometimes you can't give everything away. I'm about to break that up into courses and webinars and some other things. So and I know every day from what people ask me. And then after a while, it does become exhausting. So you just have to figure out how much. But I already know what everyone has here to offer. So my love, Tiana, I'm a gentle persuader, right, Thomas? Tiana says I'm a pusher. I'm a gentle persuader. And I do it with a smile and a lot of love behind it.
Yeah, well, it's like I taught her some things in the beginning, and then she far surpassed me. So now she's my mentor. Whereas before I was mentoring her. So now it's like she's mentoring me now.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm
Well,
cool with that.
I really honestly though, I think we still mentor each other, because I think I mentor him from this space of all of like social media and all the gadgets and everything, but I still love his hustle though. That's one thing I didn't talk about. So we're coming to a question, like talk about like your pricing strategy or philosophy that you go by.
Oh, it's real easy. Whatever I get it for, like for example, if I buy a ton of shoes from my shoe guy, right? I'll figure out how much I paid per shoe. Just say it's five five to say between $5 and $7 for any shoe I buy. It's amazing, but he's able to get them like that, and so I just step on it maybe 5 times. If I get a shoe for $5, I try to get $35 for it. That's simply it. That'll cover, shipping,
Mhm.
packing materials, blah blah blah. I try to step on it 5 times, and I don't know where I got that from. I was something online. I got that formula from, but that's really what it is. I
Yeah.
just step on it 5 times. I keep it real simple.
Yeah, he does. I really like his philosophy. I mean, we talked about this a lot. Like in the beginning, I was kind of just giving things away, but I wasn't like interested in really selling. It was more to just spend time with Thomas, like the outlet. Back then, it wasn't like it is now. We could just go to the outlet and have fun. It wasn't the hustle and bustle. So I liked that. I would come home from work, or I would be off on the holidays, the school holidays, and we would go and do that. But now that it's business, I'm a little bit more focused. So I do I try to find a middle ground, because sometimes it will surprise him that I sold like something for a certain amount of money, like the Tory Burch flip flops that I just sold for $33. He gave them to me too. I love that he shares. He'll go like, I went to the shoe guy, pick out what you want. And then he'll go, I knew you would pick those. Or it'll be brands. He still doesn't know a lot of brands either. So that's also the cool thing about, because you would think because he's been selling for a long time that if I was like a new person, I could be intimidated by Thomas, but I'm not. He's just like this regular everyday guy who's hustling to provide for his family. And so if you go to Pasha Dude X, I would say everyone go and follow him if you're not following him on Poshmark, and really look at his closet. I mean, his prices aren't that high, but he also has a philosophy of how much he wants to make. He knows what we need to do to save and to make sure our bills are paid. Because Thomas lives on a pension. He was a firefighter for 25 years. And, that's a monthly payment that takes care of the basics, but you want to make sure you have more than enough. You don't want to just have enough. So I love his everyday philosophy. So he doesn't think so, but I am still, under his tutelage every single day. Just from packaging, he doesn't get crazy about it. Like everybody can get all crazy, but Nikki, when she was on with Rhonda the other day, she talked about this, and I hope everyone understood what she was saying, that yes, beautiful packaging is great, but the weather's going to change. Some of us still live on the West Coast. California, if that song, It Never Rains in California, so you might not get any rain. And yes, you've got the beautiful tissue paper and all that. But what if you get here in the Massachusetts winter, and the guy just throws your box on the porch, and you get home 5 hours later? What's happened to your package? If it's like tissue paper, like I just got this tissue paper, just came in my Jomar box. This beautiful blue tissue paper would be all over like a white blouse. Like that's why I told Thomas that the UPS guy was coming today, because I wanted him. It's raining here in Delaware. I didn't want my box to sit outside. Imagine if my box sat outside, it would have been all wet. So we just have to really just think about how we're packaging. Thomas shoves stuff into a package and calls it a day.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm going to show you my packing theory, right? This is a postal Tyvek mailing envelope. Tyvek is waterproof. It's strong. It's tough. I'll put the shoes in here, and then I'll put that into the box. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And most of the time, 99% of the time, I get 5-star ratings.
Yeah.
Nobody's complaining. So, if people are complaining, I would adjust. But as long as people don't complain, I'm not worried about it, because this protects it from moisture, etc. It's tough. You can't rip this. You can't hurt it. So that's my whole packing method for most of the shoes I sell. And like I said, if people were to complain, I would adjust.
Yeah.
I'd make it prettier.
Nah. Well,
I'm
and
not gonna
then
do it.
yeah, and that makes a good sense. Well, also I do say to people, I would suggest that everybody give it a chance to sell on eBay. You have a whole philosophy. See, when you start on Poshmark, you think that everybody has to be pretty and prim and popular. Really, I've never done that. I put my stuff in a clear plastic bag, just like this, and I stick it either in a poly mailer. For Poshmark, I use most of the primary priority shipping, but for the other platforms, I just stick it in poly mailers. I have blank poly mailers that I've had for a couple of years. And so I don't overthink the process. And I don't think that you should either. Just do the best that you can with what you have. Your customers aren't thinking it. So this is Wendy. I can vouch for Leslie. She is a pusher of love and kindness and potential. Wendy knows that I love her. We chatted today. Let's see. Okay, so any last questions for Thomas? We're going to be going soon. Let's see.
It's time
She
for
said,
starting.
is that a flat rate envelope? That envelope is the mailing envelope. It's the Tyvek's mailing envelope that you get. I'm in my office next to my shipping center. So it's the priority mail and it's the mailing envelope. See it right there? That's what this is. Look how strong. This is for Poshmark. This is what you can send shoes in here, sneakers in here, a bunch of stuff. You can put a whole lot of stuff if you can package well. And then the next step is the box. I don't use any flat rate packaging for Poshmark. They're not going to send it back, but for me, I just don't, because we get enough that I get enough boxes and stuff. Because sometimes when you do flat rate, there can be an issue. They shouldn't be fighting with you, but this is the time of year you don't want to be messing around with the post office. So that's why you should go online, USPS.com, and order. But for the other platforms, you got to just weigh your stuff, because you're not going to be able to use the same type of shipping as Poshmark. That's why they don't want to change our shipping, y'all, because they know that people are going to be like, oh, well, I can't do priority. But I'll still take a $3 base shipping. Okay, let's see a couple more questions, and then let me see. It says, "Oh, too funny on simple packaging. Totally makes sense. I'm not fussy, just a little pretty thank you card." He doesn't even do that. I actually purchased him some postcards from Vistaprint 2 years ago, and he probably still has a little stack of them that he can just date for his business. But oh well. So, and it says, Quimby says, love you all. Come to say hi on my channel. Definitely go check out Quimby, the Grateful Queen. Quimby, are you going live tomorrow? And the Grateful Therapist. Thomas, she says, Thomas, how long have you been going to flea markets? Also, do you like going to auctions?
I just started getting into the auctions, but the guys in my area, they come very cash heavy. And there's a lot of competition. Because these are the guys that make their total living at flea markets. So they'll come with a couple grand in their pocket and buy everything, and it's kind of hard to compete with them. But I like going to them, but I've never been able to get a good score on some of the things I got. Also, I'm trying not to have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And storage is an issue because we don't have a garage, and I used to pay for storage, public storage and that kind of thing, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So when you buy this stuff, they want you to get it out of there within a day or two. And like, where am I going to put it? So, that's something for the future when we move and I get a garage. That may be something I may get into.
Yeah.
But I've been going to flea markets about 25 years, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. I'm not sure. So
awesome. So this is where we're going to end. I want to thank everyone for joining us. If you've joined me, if you're in my personal group, you know that I love everyone. I just want to thank you for spending time with us, because it means something. You're taking time away from whatever you were doing to spend time with us. I appreciate you, friends. I validate you. I care about you. Continue to do the thing you think you cannot do, because if you don't think you can do it, I'm going to push you. So thank you so much, everyone who joined us tonight. Take care, friends.